How many co-founders have done, you know?
No, at minimum, they're supposed to give me, and when I say me, FalconX, a half a day a week.
Ah,
That's
a lot.
A lot of time.
That's a lot of time.
And if they don't give half a day,
Yeah.
I make sure like I accrue it to a day in the following week.
Following week.
But
Okay.
that being said, my founding team has been so gracious about their time that if they're not able to come here,
Yeah.
that they're willing to take this meeting with the
Virtually.
founders. No, physically in other parts.
Oh,
with all.
And what kind of support they give the startups? In what way do
yeah.
they come in and jump in and help?
We identify
Market cap.
them as the potential
billion-dollar companies.
in the
I
future.
see. How do you accept applications, or what is a good way to reach out to you?
So the good news is we don't have to go through an application process,
Unlike others.
No, I mean, we haven't streamlined it.
Okay.
In all fairness, I haven't found a way to streamline it yet. We have a flow of requests that we haven't been able to stop.
Yeah. So how many co-founders have done
So we're
this?
about 9 co-founders.
Okay.
We are 9 co-founders.
9 co-founders.
All co-founders are serial entrepreneurs with
Okay.
successful exits.
Successful
We've
exits.
taken multiple companies from zero to exit
I see.
by ourselves.
I see.
And that experience now we're taking advantage of that, and then we're passing it on to the entrepreneurs of the current crop of startups.
Awesome.
It's a big part of our philosophy is to
Right.
give back what we've learned.
I see.
But
But outside that, you have your other engagements, or it's just
Some of us do have
Some
our
of you
other
do.
engagements. Some of us have committed to actually operationalizing and then streamlining it full time. So I, for instance, Raju and I did commit full time into making sure that we've operationalized this and we've built out the business model, fine tuned it to a point where we're now beginning to start add more value
Yeah.
add to the startups.
Okay, so you can show me around. I had this question, why you have incubator and accelerator housed in the same facility, because you say innovate, incubate and accelerate. Does that
Absolutely.
make it very challenging because you have everything housed in the same? Because if you look at Y Combinator, they are very clearly seed accelerator. They don't do
Absolutely.
anything else.
Absolutely.
So you are doing so much here. Does that complicate things, or how do you manage that?
No, I mean, I think we are fairly open-minded in our approach. We don't see acceleration the same way everybody else sees in the valley.
So then, can we start with what
Sure.
exactly FalconX is
Yeah,
and
so
how you?
FalconX is a global accelerator and incubator. We call ourselves a global accelerator and incubator because the founders are actually global in their thought and process. They've built global companies.
Okay.
They also observed that many years ago that the global ecosystem is now kind of revving its innovation, and new entrepreneurs are actually beginning to build the next billion-dollar companies, and they're coming from around the world.
Yeah.
And as you may have already heard of, BV and Raju Reddy were one of the pioneers in identifying that many years ago, 5 years ago, when Thai started $1 billion baby program, which basically states that the next billion-dollar companies will be coming from India or other parts of the world.
They kind of foresaw that.
They foresaw that, and they put their
Money on it.
money on that.
Okay.
We actually are seeing the results of that already.
I see. So a lot of okay, this is all right. I'm gonna cut this. And what kind of support they give the startups? In what way do
yeah.
they come in?
No, at minimum they're supposed to give me, and when I say me, FalconX, a half a day a week.
Ah,
That's
a lot.
A lot of time.
That's a lot of time.
And if they don't give half a day,
Yeah.
I make sure like I accrue it to a day in the following week.
following week.
But
Okay.
that being said, my founding team has been so gracious about their time that if they're not able to come here,
Yeah.
that they're willing to take this meeting with
Virtually.
the founders, no, physically in other parts where it's
Oh.
convenient. I think that open door allows a quality of mentoring advice
Yeah.
that these startups get that is real time.
Yeah.
They don't have to wait because in the startup
Yeah.
world, 1 week
Yes.
things become stale.
Yes.
So
yes.
when they need the advice
Yeah.
and they know
Yeah.
where they
Yeah.
which mentor or which board member can give them the advice.
Yeah.
They want to be able to meet them as quickly as they
I
can.
see. So today in the show, in the first 10 minutes, I'm going to say 3 takeaways.
Okay.
One takeaway is you get real-time advice when you really need it from 9 mentors who are serial entrepreneurs, been through successful exits, and are specialized in pre-series A. That's the first.
Yeah.
Second thing is
But that doesn't preclude beyond that as well.
beyond that.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't preclude that.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
And then
as I mentioned, we have 8 companies that have Series A and beyond.
yeah, and you are specializing. You've got a lot of entrepreneurs from emerging markets,
Yes.
and you are after the billion-dollar.
We identify
market cap.
them as the potential
Billion-dollar companies.
in the
I see.
future. We want them to achieve that dream.
Okay.
And I think, these entrepreneurs, they come with the passion.
Yeah.
They demonstrated passion that
Yeah.
we believe,
Yeah.
with good guidance and help,
Yeah.
we can catalyze that.
I see. How do you accept applications, or what is a good way to reach out to you?
So the good news is we don't have to go through an application process,
Unlike others.
Well, I mean, we haven't streamlined it.
Okay.
In all fairness, I haven't found a way to streamline it yet. We have a flow of requests that we haven't been able to stop,
Yeah.
because the founding members have been investing for about a decade. If I had to add up the cumulative investments they've made of all 9 members, there'd be in excess of 250 investments they've made. So they're known in the space. They're very in demand
In the space.
in the space. So in that context, we don't have a risk of a pipeline of startups coming to us. That being said, we at FalconX actually invite startups into our space. We don't just say that
Have a
this is a
screening
space.
round.
They
Invite.
have to meet they
Ah.
have to meet a certain criteria.
So you pick them.
Yes, they
You
come and
pick
meet
them.
us. They have to meet the criteria, and some of the criteria are simple. They have to be solving a business problem. So B2B, that's an
B2B.
experience we have.
B2B is what you specialize
Absolutely.
in. Okay.
We understand that at the enterprise space better than any other space, and we stay from B2C because none of us have that experience, and so we want to focus on where we can
B2B.
actually deliver the best value.
Okay.
So that's one thing. The second part is that we want the startup entrepreneurs to have at least gotten their feet wet in putting together friends and family. So they should have
It's
raised
called
at
the
least
seed.
pre-seed. So
Pre-seed,
they should have raised
pre-seed.
at least $500,000 of friends and family. In some cases, at least the global startups,
Yeah.
they've exceeded that. They've come here because we want them to come here with oxygen. They shouldn't come here and starve for oxygen for at least a year. We want one of the founders to come here. But anyway, coming back to the criteria for it, if the founders have a couple of paid pilots, then we look at that as a big achievement.
Got it.
If they're a serial entrepreneur who have done one before and they want to come back into the ecosystem but be with our platform, we definitely will invite those serial entrepreneurs.
Great.
And if any of our founding board members has already invested in the company, well, obviously we invite them into the ecosystem as well. So those
Okay.
are the sort of, these are not rules, but they're sort of, we use them as guidelines to choose our companies, because every one of us has had success of varying quantities and qualities.
Yeah.
So we have different approaches to this. We respect those approaches.
How do you deal with that? The very
Well,
it must be hard.
No, I think we have had a philosophy that of giving back, of being transparent with one another. We expect that to translate that transparency to our new startup entrepreneurs. We want to help them build those, traits of ethics, traits of transparency. We want them to be not cutting corners. We want them to do things in the right way.
Okay.
That allows them to actually be a sustainable, long-term viable company.
I see.
And so they go through a lot of hardships during this process. During those hardships, they need this kind of this advice to help them, saying, hey, I'll stick to the focus. We want to make sure that they actually stay focused. A lot of them come with multiple opportunities.
Yeah.
And, or should it be a product or a platform?
Yeah.
So we help them
Fine-tune,
solve that
yeah.
and become a little more focused. And I think that's been an area where we found ourselves that our experience
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Yeah, I know.